Should I do the intro? I don't think I've done the intro yet. I think you did it last time it was us.
That's true, I did.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Common Ground Podcast, your favorite podcast where we talk about your favorite format, Pauper. This is episode 85. I am your co-host, Thomas Hammergun, joined not by Cameron Scott Schindler this week, if only because he has some things going on in terms of the move out of the apartment. So I am joined, just the two of us, with the one, the only, James Hippo Hieronymus. James, how you doing?
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
I am doing well.
Hell yeah. Glad to hear it. You played some Pauper over the weekend, I hear.
I did. Mm-hmm. Our friend Derek once again was able to organize a little win-a-box up at Frontline Games in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And so I decided to take a little trip on up there with our friends Anna and Devin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Devin went too. That's nice.
He did go.
Nice.
I think I picked out what I was going to play pretty early in the week.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to play like the green-red monster aggro deck with like all the Bannerhog Crew Shocks and the Nyxborn Hydras and that good junk.
Nice.
The deck was cool. I enjoyed playing it. I got to meet some of our people that listen, and
oh, nice.
That was fun. I got to play against them too.
Cool.
Yep. And so I'll get started.
Nice.
Do you want to call out anything before?
I do actually.
So go ahead.
I do have some things to call out before we get too far into your report. We're also going to talk about Edge of Eternity spoilers. We each have a fair number of cards to chat about looking at the spoiler. The set looks really sweet, honestly.
It does.
It looks like there's a lot of cool stuff and a number of cards that y'all have already called out on Twitter and on the Discord. And speaking of the Discord, we have a Discord. You can join the Discord. It's a fun time. People are chatting about Pauper, and we're talking about a lot of the time the Common Ground Cup coming up August 2nd. This is our second big tournament that we've co-hosted with Game Night in Columbia, Tennessee. We'll be doing live coverage and commentary. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are still available. We're filling up fast. It's going to be a great time. We had a hotel deal for some folks coming in out of town. I did hear word that if anyone is still potentially looking to book a hotel, we might be able to still get you a discounted rate. We can chat with our friend who works at the hotel, and he might be able to extend that for anyone who's still interested. So hit us up, DM us, or message us on Discord, or email us, and we can... if anyone is still looking for a hotel spot, we can hook you up with that. But it's going to be a great time. Saturday, August 2nd. Really, really looking forward to it. The trophy's right here, all wrapped in bubble wrap right next to us. It's going to be a lot of fun. A couple other quick tournaments to shout out. On August 9th, the second Upstate New York Pauper Open will be happening in the Rochester area. So go check them out if you're in the area, or you'd also like to travel for that event. Then back closer to home on the 16th of August in Murray, Kentucky, which is about an hour and a half-ish north of Nashville. There is a tournament going on at Enchanted Gaming Emporium, and first prize will be an Alpha Red Elemental Blast.
I plan to be there.
That's awesome. I'm kind of hoping I will be too. I haven't had a chance to look at my
the folks who came down at Frontline were the crew hosting that. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Awesome. So we got to meet some of those folks.
I did.
That's sick. And then I'm still putting together some of the official information, but there will be some more Pauper going on at the Lansing Nerd Rage Gaming event that weekend later on in August as well as I believe there may be a potential tournament down at JC's with the Bama crew, our friends down there. I need to wait on them for a specific date, but I believe that is coming up potentially towards the end of August.
Sounds about right.
I believe that's about when it's happening, but we'll have more information. If I have it between now and posting, I'll include it in the description. So y'all will probably see it there. So yeah, I think I've run my mouth quite enough with updates to the tournament scene.
Cool beans.
You wanna take it away? Tell us how your green red day went.
Speaking of tournament scenes, I got to go play a tournament at Frontline Games. It was 25 players.
That's awesome.
Came out. Yep. 9 came from the folks up in the Murray County or Kentucky area. Yep. That's just Sir Himsalot told me that.
Okay, gotcha. I thought that might be them.
Yes. Nice. So round 1, I sat down across from Chris, who was playing like a Temur Cascade Ponza list. I was immediately like, they like turn 1 snow-covered forest. I was like, pretty sure I know what this is immediately because of that. And after over the course of the match, we figured out that he had not really updated his list in like 2 years. So he's just playing like Altasaur into Boarding Party into Avenging Hunter, that good shindig. But was also playing all the Ponza spells and all that good jazz. I ended up getting it 2-0. Turns out when you have Ponza spells and not actual cards that kill your opponent, it does not matter. If you're just blowing up my lands and then I eventually draw creatures and you do not.
Right, especially when your version is not running on as much mana as they need to as well, too.
Actually, I might be running more because they're not playing all sets of wild growth.
Oh, okay.
Like the Cascade. Like
so
actual,
you still had fast mana.
Yeah, I have all 8 of the Utopia Sprawl wild growth effects with the Arbor Elf.
But maybe not just like, here's a big 7-drop. You're like, here's a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, that's essentially the idea.
Yeah.
But I got that one 2-0. Nothing really notable there other than because they drew Ponza spells, I drew creature spells. Round 2, I played against Michael. He was playing Black White Blade. The games were all pretty close. There was a decision I made in game 3 that came back to bite me pretty hard, is that I cast a Malevolent Rumble, and I had the opportunity to pick up a Utopia Sprawl and did not, and therefore I could not cast a single spell for the rest of the game. Going into the later turns of the game, I just sit there looking at this Writhing Chrysalis, and that kept getting discarded to Refurbish Familiar, and then casting the Fire that kept getting discarded to Refurbish Familiar. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. Lesson learned. Then round 3, I played against Tyler, or Blue Hair Mage, in our Discord on Flickertron. Nice. Game 1, I just kind of put the screws in pretty hard. Game 2, he assembled a lock with Stonehorn Dignitary, so I'm like, we'll just move on with our lives. And game 3, I think he fumbled a little bit and didn't hold up hope and Fog mana for a turn where he was trying to get Tron online. Okay, so that kind of cost him, because I also had an initiative trigger to lose 5 life as well, so that would have been lethal damage. Round 4, I played against our friend Anna Banana on Cawgates. Fun match. Again, she is very good, obviously.
Yes, it's true.
It's true. They were just close games, so nothing particularly exciting. I did learn after the game 2 is the game I lost, that Blue or Red Blast are not good in that matchup. They are terrible.
Oh, really?
They are not good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why in particular?
Well, they just don't line, like, having to spend a whole turn with your Utopia Sprawled land doing blue blasting is not doing good nothing. There.
Yeah.
They're all, like, the spells are also not that impactful that she's casting on blue mana. So it's not like I'm that interested in like them like
maybe you actually care more about trying to interact with a Raven Charm or something.
More or less I brought in the other relics. I thought the Blue Blast would be more relevant in the matchup. No, the relics were game changing.
Great.
Just poured in the rest of the relics I had, and I was like, all right, cool, we'll just eat the hell out of your graveyard, and that's what I did.
Nice.
And that's what got it. She never able to have like flashback a cat, never able to flashback a prismatic strand, so I just had like 2 of them on the battlefield. I'm like, nothing's gonna happen.
Nice.
And so that locked me for, I believe, top 8. And then round 5, I would have played against the Mirror, but we decided to just draw with each other. And then I played some mono white, and he crushed me. He is also, I think, in the Discord. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, or his name's Trenton, but I can't remember his Discord thing.
Sure.
Anyways, then we get the cut to top 8. There is one person who missed on breakers, I think it was one person who missed on breakers, because there we had there was like a 9-pointer that got in, and we all amongst ourselves as adults, they're able to make decisions on their own. I believe, correct?
I would like to expect this of most adults. Yes.
We all agreed amongst ourselves that we were splitting top 8 because it's later in the evening. The event started at like 2:30, so we were kind of looking to leave and go get food and everybody do their respective thing.
Totally reasonable.
I decided to go tell the store owner that we were doing that. And his response was, that is collusion. I should have you all DQ'd. And I laughed at him and I go, that is your prerogative, I guess. And then I walked away, thinking he was joking. Oh, no, he was not. Because the rest of us walked up there and he gave this whole speech about having us colluding with each other because we all decided to split top 8, which apparently puts unwanted pressure on other players to blah-de-blah-de-blah. If you want people to return to your store, don't threaten to DQ all of the top 8 of a Pauper Win-A-Box.
Yeah.
Please do not expect people to come back to your store. I, for one, am not sure that I can, because that's ridiculous.
I agree.
I already don't like that store as it is. The only reason I'm
Yes.
going up there is because our friend Derek puts a lot of work.
Yes, because we love Derek, and that's
a
where
lot
his
of work and
events are.
effort into going in up there.
Yes.
And he makes it happen.
Yes.
Otherwise, I would never go up there,
I agree.
because the store owner, and I don't care. That is stupid. That is don't tell people that. That is not appropriate behavior. If you really want to learn about what collusion for Magic tournaments looks like, please go look at the, past 2 or 3 years of all the Magic debacles that have occurred. This is not one of them, I assure you.
Correct.
Us amongst ourselves deciding that we were all going to split. Like, no one was like upset or anything. I just don't get it. I just don't understand.
No.
So yeah, be nicer to your players that are coming into your store, and don't threaten to DQ them when they all decide to split.
Folks who have heard me talk about this store know that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it or the owner, just for like shenanigans like this occurring. Some friends of ours, first Common Ground champion, Michael Foll, he went 3 for 3 on store championship wins or split finals this past weekend. He's a monster, absolute monster. Playing
Turns out
standard.
when it let him loose with the Insidious roots, this is what happens.
Yes. Oh yeah. You banned everything else around it, and it's Tyvar's last stand. In fact, Tyvar's last stand. But at that event at Frontline on Saturday, we were told that the owner was in the top 8 and suggested a split. And so to hear that in relation to this story happening the very next, or like later, or the very next day or whatever, for Pauper
Which is
insane to me.
So it's funnier to me that is actually, I would view that as more of a cash tournament.
Yes.
Because the singular prize is so much higher than
the store champs
random
prizes,
folks winning packs of Final Fantasy.
I agree.
I didn't know that part until after that all had transpired.
Yeah.
But that just like confirmed my thought of, I really, really cannot stand giving them money.
I know.
But anyways,
It's tough sometimes.
It is.
It's tough to navigate that dynamic. And also you want to, where do you draw the line of like, I'm just not going to go here anymore, versus how do we have a conversation with owners and help them understand?
I don't think that there's a way to fix that one. I'll be real.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Anyways,
Anyway, on that note,
Edge of Eternity.
Edge of Eternity. On that note, as we get a little spicy over here. So yeah, this set is really cool. It's like outer space themed. It's got some stuff going on. There's like a bunch of random kavu for whatever reason.
Cool.
Do you want to go first? I think you want to just go down through the colors and just call some stuff out?
Yeah, 1 second.
Sure.
Alrighty then. I'm going to start it off with Exosuit Savior.
Ooh.
So it's a 2 and a white for a 2/2 flyer human soldier. When this creature enters, return up to 1 target permanent you control to its owner's hand. It's not just a creature or anything. It does. You can kind of get. You can get a little funky around with this. This is just.
I can't believe I didn't put this on my list.
This is just.
It's just like 3-mana 2/2 Skyfisher.
It's a little worse rated Skyfisher,
Yes,
but it is still
yes.
core Skyfisher nonetheless.
Yeah,
Which is cool.
That is cool. That's really cool.
Yes.
I realize some people have started to play the green 3/3 from Bloomborough. It's a 3/3 reach that you can potentially bounce a non-land permanent.
Yes.
Like some
I know
people
what
are
you're talking
playing
about.
that, and there's like a
The
green black party. It's a party deck.
the
You
party
get
deck.
you get all 4 types of party and like bounce.
there's like
the drain.
there's a Zendikar Rising card that like
It's a 2/1 vampire that drains for number
party
and party.
count.
Yeah.
cool card.
Yeah,
Plays
but
black.
yeah, so there. This is another 3-mana version of that. That's so sick.
Yeah, but you can say
It's totally fine.
Totally fine. I don't know if that'll necessarily see a ton of play, but
Sure.
But cool card has Skyfisher text on it, which I am a big fan of. So
Hell yeah.
all right.
My first white card is Lux Knight Breacher. This is 3 and a white for a 2/2 human knight. It says this creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other creature and or artifact you control. There's a chance that you could just play this and it's huge.
I agree.
Like
That's
just like
also why it is on my list.
2 other permanents, and it's a base 4-mana 4/4. Which, if you think in the terms of, I was thinking in terms of mono white. Like mono white, if you have a bunch of creatures, you have already like a 1 or 2 mana 4/3 draw card in the pack beast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you get a card out of it and it's always a 4/3, but this could be huge.
Yeah, my only thing without it being huge is form. It is like a 4-mana card.
Is.
That's the only thing. But I did also have it on my list. I think it is a cool card.
Yeah, especially if they're like if you're playing something like Blade, like Glint Blade or whatever, you're just like you have more inspectors and more ways to bounce them and replay them, and you just have a ton of clues lying around.
Yeah,
you just have random Ichor Wellsprings lying around, map tokens,
artifact lands.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god, this is really good with artifact lands. Holy crap. Yeah. Holy crap. Oh yeah. You're right. Wow. Where's my head today?
So my next one is, and I'm going to preface this by saying I think there are several cards with this text that are good because of the card Ephemerate.
Okay.
Is this particular warp card. So for those, warp is whatever the cost is. It's usually a very reduced cost of the creature or the spell or whatever, or it is the creature. It says you may cast this from your hand for its warp cost and exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step. Then you may cast it from exile on a later turn.
It's really cool.
That is a really cool mechanic at common.
Yeah.
Like, so for the example, this one's a 3 and a white for a 3/2 human knight. And when it enters, make a 1/1 white human. Mm-hmm. You just warp it and then you can ephemerate it. Or if you just don't want to do that, then 2 mana, make a dude is not the worst. And then you just cast it later. It's like an adventure card.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just an adventure card.
It's really cool.
But yeah, having all of these really reduced rates on a thing with ephemerate is just huge game to me.
I agree.
Anything with that card, I'm instantly a fan of.
Yeah, and like you said, there's a number of warp cards throughout common across the colors, which is really cool.
Correct.
That's
all my white cards.
Cool. I had one more just to like briefly call out. I don't know exactly how impactful it might be. It's Squire's Lightblade. I just thought it was interesting. It's a single.
Is this the flash one?
The little flash equipment. It's a little flash dagger. It's a single white mana for an artifact equipment with flash, and when it enters, you attach it for free, and the creature gains first strike until end of turn, and it gives equipped creature +1/+0, and you can equip for 3.
So something like this does already exist. It's like the Javelin Blade thing.
Oh,
the
yeah.
red red one.
Sure.
Like something kind of like that art.
Yeah. Just kind of similar. I just thought it was interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
I don't know if it necessarily is impactful, but I like that they're giving white some extra artifact identity. Like I love like recommission style decks in like low powered cube designs. Like this is right up my alley. Love me some recommission. Do you want to take the one everyone definitely has on their list in blue?
Sure. I'm sure it's no surprise, the Cryogen Relic. 1 in a blue for an artifact. Whenever it enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Yeah. That's not where the text stops.
Yeah.
1 in a blue, sacrifice this artifact. Put a stun counter on up to 1 target tapped creature.
It's really solid.
Just giving Ichor Wellspring more text.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That's really powerful.
That is really good.
Because like you just have a way to get it off the board. That's like just 1 in a blue, draw a card, stun something. As long as it's already tapped. But that's super manageable. That's not hard at all. Like racing happens all the time.
Yeah, and then you could start getting into the world. I could see this being a card that gets play in the Poison Storm deck.
Oh,
because it already wants to put. It already plays cards that put stone counters on stuff.
Yeah, and it can play with the counters.
And it can play with the counters themselves.
Yeah. That's kind of sick, actually.
It's just a cantrip rock that actually still like digs you towards the things you're doing.
That's cool.
So yeah, I am interested in that at least. And there's obviously several other shells it goes with. Core Skyfisher is obviously very good with this card.
Yep.
Any of the dispute style effects, all these all very good.
Any blue deck of any variety that already played Ichor Wellspring that wants more Ichor Wellsprings is like throwing their hands up. Hallelujah. Yep. Yeah. This card is very cool.
Nope. Card's very good. I like it.
Very cool. I have Ilvoy Galeblade. This is a single blue mana for a 1/1 Jellyfish Warrior. It has flash and flying and is basically a clue also. For 2 and sacrifice this creature, you get to draw a card. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first single blue mana flash flyer, like 1/1 flash flyer in like at common. That's at least like
I think so.
Basically, at any point playable, because like we have things like Spectral Sailor at uncommon from like a couple of it's had a couple reprints, and it's flash flyer and has some like draw card text. This is pretty similar, and people have already been kind of talking about this in fairies. In my mind, it kind of plays in like the owl space.
It would have to be, because at some point you have to strike that balance of, do I play enough am I playing enough fairies? Am I playing enough, non-fairies to trigger my like my things that
Yeah,
that I need
because
to.
Spell Stutter, Sprite, and Of One Mind have kind of specific requirements, and this is a non-fairy and non-human.
I have to ask a dumb question.
Okay.
Have they still been playing Of One Mind?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
I just have to know. Because I just didn't remember seeing it forever.
Yeah. No, they're still playing Up on Mind. I mean, single blue, draw 2 cards pretty consistently is pretty powerful. But that is the balance to strike of like, how many of your non-humans can you afford to not be fairies? And some lists are playing up to like 2 or 3 Strix familiars.
Yeah,
So
I'm just blind. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good.
It'd been so long since I had looked at that card and noted it on the fairies list. I'm like, oh, they do still play that card.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, I do. I think that is the only, like, if there is one ever been one printed beforehand.
Yeah.
This is the only really playable one, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. But striking that balance between having enough fairies, non-fairies, or non-humans, I should say.
Yeah. It all plays together.
It all plays together. But yeah, it is be an interesting thing.
Just a nice buyout that it just sacks as a clue.
Yeah, it does sack as a clue, which is kind of cool.
Totally fine.
Yeah. Because it also could lean into more play. It could steer you down different play patterns with the fairies deck too. If you like a Sir Himslot plays like the Force Spikes.
Yeah.
In fairies, and just leans you more into playing Force Spike style effects.
You have even more flash
able
creatures.
to just play more. Yeah, you're able to play more instant speed. So turns cards like that on a little bit more.
Yeah, if you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive and grindy, and then maybe like you move some of the single mana 1/2s that flash in and give something -2, like Humbling Elder and like that sort of stuff. Maybe some of that moves to the board with this. I'm not sure, but it's a really cool card.
Another unique effect that I've never seen in blue is the Cryo Shatter. Single blue for an enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets -5, -0. Whenever enchanted creature becomes tapped or is dealt damage, destroy it.
I also read this and thought it was very interesting.
I'm not sure if it's like just better than Bind, or I think Bind the Monster is likely just better most of the time. But this is still just an interesting card. Is another variant of this style.
Yeah,
of this like
absolutely
blue like kill spell. So I think it's just something interesting at least.
Yeah. The thing that kept it off my list is if you put this on something, it's not really going to get something out of the way of blocking is the issue for me. But it is, it's kind of along that lines. But then if it does block, then it dies. So like it kind of gets it out of the way. But if that creature is just basically dead anyway, then stopping a block could potentially come up in a race. So it's like,
yeah.
But it is really interesting. Also, I'm sure everyone can hear the little bit of a downpour just started. We are in my living room.
It is very stormy.
We're in my living room this day. My lovely partner is taking a nap in the other room. I have one other blue card that I just thought was interesting. I don't know if it's gonna really. You have 2? Hell yeah.
2.
This one's Mental Modulation. It's 1 in a blue for an instant. It costs 1 less to cast during your turn. It says tap target artifact or creature and draw a card. So we we've had several like 2 mana tap a creature, draw a card. Kind of interesting that it's only a single mana to just like cantrip and push something out of the way in combat. So if there's like some sort of tempo aggro list, maybe you throw like one of these in your fairies list or something. But overall, I think it's a pretty low power level card, but I thought it was an interesting one to call out because I think cost reduction is a lot more powerful than people think.
That's why I'm very interested in these warp creatures, which is why my next card is a warp card.
Interesting.
It's a blue one. Mechanizoa, for 4 blue for a 5/5. When it enters, or it's an artifact creature. That's important.
It is an artifact creature.
Whenever this creature enters, tap target artifact or creature, and then put a stun counter. This taps artifact lands and keeps them tapped, which is pretty insane.
Ooh, okay.
That's pretty cool. And its warp cost is 2 in a blue. So if you think about the Familiars deck, for example, we'll look at like they use like Muldrifter Ephemerate a lot. Same with the Tron deck, uses Muldrifter Ephemerate a lot. I'm seeing this being kind of in that Ephemerate space as well.
Okay.
Pretty sweet little card here, if you ask me. It's also a huge body. This is a 5/5 for technically what would be 3 mana. Like that's huge.
Yeah, if you ephemerate it, yeah.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing to scoff at. It's a pretty big card.
That is really cool.
And then I have one more blue card.
Yeah, go for it.
It's Divert Disaster. For 1 in a blue instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If they do pay the 2, you create a lander token, which is essentially just a rampant growth.
Yes.
Which is cool. We give something like the it's like Scred deck or something in that space. Mm-hmm. Like it puts them ahead towards their Scred better.
Yeah,
it's a counter spell. Like if it counters a thing, cool. If it doesn't, then it's just digging you, or it's just gonna like increase your draws later.
Yeah, stifle their mana development a little bit.
Yeah,
like that's totally fine.
Yeah, something. I'm not
cool.
Again, I'm not sure it's great, but
sure,
cool card. Could see the patterns with it.
Yeah,
interesting enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Moving on to black, I have Temporal Intervention. This is 2 and a black for a sorcery. It has Void, which it explains what it means in the rules text here. It says this spell costs 2 less to cast if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. So that's what Void means. Void checks for a non-land permanent having left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. Notably, it says just left the battlefield. It doesn't say you control. I don't know if is that true across all Void.
I believe
it's just if any non-land permanent leaves the battlefield, it's not necessarily just you control like Revolt was.
If a permanent left the battlefield this turn, yeah, it looks like that's the case.
Great. Okay, cool.
But
it is non-land. You can't like trigger it with like an Evolving Wilds or
bounce land
or the landscape fetches or anything like that. You can't trigger it with a land. It has to be a non-land permanent. But that happens a lot in Pauper.
Turns out where trinkety artifact doc format is going to move around cardboard a lot.
It's true. But what the spell actually does is target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card.
That looks like Thoughtseize to me.
That's basically Thoughtseize with no life loss.
Yeah,
That's
assuming that you could
loss.
trigger this, this consistently. This is just Thoughtseize.
Life loss. Yeah,
this
it's just Thoughtseize. You know, you potentially have to put in some mana to do the work of getting Void to trigger, potentially. So, like, you're kind of still paying that 2 mana, potentially, in some way. But this being 1 mana, pull any card out of your hand.
This gives me more Ephemerate vibes, where like Skyfisher, Skyfishering with Ephemerate or things like that. Yeah. Or Refurbish Familiar, all these like things that just shred your opponent like to nothing. This is kind of a card that fits in that same space.
Turn 3, do whatever, Skyfisher, bounce something, then cast this, Thoughtseize them.
Yeah,
this seems pretty good, especially if you're in that deck, like the Glint Belly deck. If you're also Refurbish Familiaring, then you just have like extra hand disruption. I think this card is really sweet.
I agree. My next one is Depressurize. So 1 in a black, and this is the weird. I think this might be one of the weirdest removal spells I've ever read.
I agree.
Target creature gets -3, -0 until end of turn. Then, if that creature's power is 0 or less, destroy it.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is weird.
It's cool.
It is very cool.
Because like almost we were talking about this ahead of time, and we're like, I was thinking looking at this, if it almost is giving like the -/ effect that like can deal with indestructible stuff, but it actually doesn't, because it then says destroy it at the back end of the text. So it's like not a perfect analogy there, but it is like, I don't know if we've ever seen this text.
I don't think
ever.
So. Well, that's what the blue one's kind of the same. The blue card, the Cryo Shatter or whatever, the same card or same kind of deal. It's like where it's got this very like this text. It's like, you get this extra little bonus if something good happens here.
Yeah.
So,
very interesting card.
Just an interesting card.
I'm curious as to whether or not it's just, it's just worst cast down in a way. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting that if you want your cast down to sometimes be like a combat trick, then like, I guess you could play 1 or 2 of these.
I don't know.
It's
the first time I think I've ever read that.
Split cards are powerful.
Yeah. Because it's just the first time I've ever read that text on a Magic card that I'm aware of.
It was interesting.
I have one more black card.
Sure, go for it.
I have Peregrine Beckoner, which is 4 and a black for a 4/5 creature horror. It's
another warp card.
I'm very into this.
Yes.
When this creature enters until end of turn, another creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its control. So this also provides something in that same space of just kind of looping a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm very into this whole idea.
When this creature enters until end of turn, another target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control.
This makes like again, there are so many. They're starting to print enough creatures, like creature spells that are insane.
Yeah.
That just make like the Glint deck, like the Blade deck, like that style of deck just tick for me really well. because we're not focused so much maybe necessarily on the trinkety artifact portion of the deck, but we're just like focused on the like core Skyfisher part of the deck.
Sure.
Which is essentially, I guess it's
That could
the
be
same
really
thing.
cool.
But we're less interested in the like artifact count of the things.
Yeah.
Like you could get more into the creature spells and things like that. That seems cool.
That is really sick. That's really cool.
That's all my black cards.
Nice. Same for me. I have 1 red card.
I have 3
You also have
red cards.
you have some warp stuff to talk about here. Yeah.
I don't have any warp cards here.
Oh, not the 3/3? The 3/3
Oh, sorry, that's the 1.
Oh, okay.
The
great,
1, sorry.
Great. I have Melded Moxite. This is 1 and a red for an artifact. When it enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. And for 3 and sacrifice this artifact, you get to create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token.
You know what this looks a lot like? This looks like an experimental synthesizer.
It kind of looks like experimental synthesizer in a way, except you don't get you kind of get you get 2 cards out of it in a way. Like you have to play this and you discard a card. Yeah, you have to have cards in your hand. But then it does turn into a 2/2 for 3 mana, which is similar for sure.
Yeah, you can just keep picking this up again.
Yeah.
Anything involving a Skyfisher, this just picks it up, puts it right back into play, does the trinkety artifact nonsense that I'm all here for.
I'm seeing a lot of synergy in like being able to trigger Void for the draft set. There's just a lot of stuff that sacrifices itself, which is cool.
Exactly.
I think this card's fine. It's like if you're a deck that likes the discard a card, draw 2 that red likes to play, and you want it on an artifact, here you go.
There you go. Cool. My next one is Red Tiger Mechan, which is a 4 and a red for a 3/3 artifact creature robot cat with haste. But it's got that ever important text that I am a fan of in the warp text.
Yes.
So warps for 1 and a red. So that's essentially a 2-mana 3/3 haster, which is really cool because there's the deck right now, the rally deck right now.
Yes.
Plays the
Burning
Tree
Tree
Emissary.
Emissary. Yep.
So it just gives you something else to do with that mana that is good.
Yeah.
Like this is essentially just like Bolt.
Yeah.
You're casting Bolt with your
That's totally fine.
with your Burning Tree mana.
Right.
Seems good to me.
And then it just is sitting in the wings of like, I have a 4 mana 3/3 haste that I can just cast whenever
This is an
down the line.
This is an adventure for 4 mana that I
Right.
should I get there should the game go long enough.
So you won't run out of stuff to do.
Yep.
That's
Really cool card.
good.
Also, yet another artifact card, so it checks all the Galvanic Blast and all that good junk too.
Oh, yeah, it does. Ooh, Galvanic Blast, Burning Tree Emissary. Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
There you go. Did you have any more red cards?
No, I don't have any more red
I have
cards.
one more.
Okay.
All right. Slag Drill Scrapper.
I was just looking at this.
For a single red, for a 1/2 artifact creature robot scout, it says you can pay 2, tap it, sack another artifact or land, and draw a card.
Oh.
So this just gives me, you just go really late into the game.
Sure.
Like this is not an aggressive, I don't know if this is necessarily an aggressive card, but this is feeding into that Borosynth, Mardu Synth kind of territory where this gives you something to do with an artifact that's already with an artifact that exists because that triggers all sorts of stuff in the format. But it also just digs you way into the late game. Just turns your Ichor Wellsprings into 2 cards and so on and so forth. It does lots of cool stuff. Same, but it's on a creature this time, so you can at least attack with it if you want to.
Sure. The 1 mana 1/2. I mean, a single mana artifact in red can only be so bad, right?
That's true. It can only be so bad.
It can only be so bad. I have 3 green cards to talk about.
I have 1.
Okay, my first one is Fungal Colossus.
Okay.
This is 6 and a green for a fungus beast. It's a 5/5, and it says, this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of differently named... Hello? The Sky has joined the podcast.
The Sky has joined
in a
the
big
podcast.
way. It says this spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. Now, this is a much harder clause, I think, to get super cheap, super fast than something like Tolarian Terror, but it is Tolarian Terror stats in that it's 6 and a color, 5/5, has a cost reduction.
Yep.
So there's a world where this could potentially be a pretty cheap 5/5. I don't necessarily know that that it's going to actually play out that way.
Speaking of cost reduction 5/5s, I have another one for you.
Okay, hit me.
So for 4 and a green for a 5/5 creature plant worm, it's a germinating worm.
Oh,
When this
yes.
creature enters, you gain 2, but it has once again
Yes.
warp text.
Yes.
So it's 2 mana, 1 and a green to make a 5/5. Ephemerate this, please. Somebody break these warp cards with Ephemerate. They're so good with Ephemerate. I cannot overstate how good they are with Ephemerate.
I saw Germinating Worm, and for some reason, this one and no other one, I was like, well, if someone ever breaks Cascade in Pauper, like, this is potentially a candidate, because you can do something with it for 2 mana.
Yeah. That's all. That's kind of the whole idea of any of them, really.
Yeah.
But that's my one. That's my one green card.
That's funny.
The card is cool with Ephemerate.
It is really cool with Ephemerate.
Basically, does this card have good? Is it honor rate good and good with Ephemerate? Mm-hmm. And it checks both those boxes.
My other 2 green cards. The first one is Gene Pollinator, a single green for an artifact creature, robot insect. There's a lot of single mana colored artifacts in this set, which is pretty cool. It's a 1/2, and it has tap an untap permanent you control. Add 1 mana of any color. So this is like the Springleaf Drum, Jaspera Sentinel, like all of that sort of like text. Like you tap this, tap an untapped thing, add mana of any color. But this one is any untapped permanent. So it can be an artifact, a land, it could be another creature. It's not picky. This is the least picky one we've ever seen, I think. And it's cool that it's a cheap artifact in green. Green is starting to get to play in the artifact space a little bit more. You know, maybe you bring out your Commune with Beavers.
I think it's like we went from the world of Gabe Nassif punking Ben Stark in top 8s with green cards against his affinity deck to green now being the affinity color.
Right. It's here. I think it's fine. If you want an artifact that's the Jaspera Sentinel effect, totally fine. I like that it could potentially give a fresh base for some fun ideas.
Yeah.
And then I'm a sucker for a bushwhack style effect. So I included Sammy's Curiosity. It's a single green for a sorcery. You gain 2 life and create a lander token, which is the token that James spoke about earlier, which is basically the rampant growth. Yeah, it's 2 tap sack, search for basic, put it into play, tapped. This kind of ramps you in a way. It sets it up. It's like playing Wayfarer's Bauble in Commander back in the day or whatever.
That was
just
your ramp
like,
card.
Here's 2 mana sorcery, play a land, cast this, gain 2 life, and then you make the lander, and you spend your second turn just like sacking the lander, and then you have 4 mana on turn 3 for like your Chrysalis or whatever you're doing. It's totally fine.
Yep.
What about your colorless cards? There are no multicolored commons this time around.
I get 2.
Cool. I have 1.
I'm sure we both can agree on the 1.
Yeah.
It's a nutrient block.
It is.
For single colorless, you have an indestructible food token. Obviously with
artifact.
Artifact. It is not token.
Yeah.
You
have an indestructible food token.
Food have forever been tokens. Artifact food, and it's just food text. And then when it's put into the battlefield from the graveyard, or put into the graveyard from the battlefield backwards,
yes.
Draw a card.
Yeah,
reasonable.
Just another trinkety artifact.
Yep. I don't know if it's better than Limbus, but being 1 mana is kind of cool.
Someone called out this is another indestructible artifact to throw counters on from Kenku Artificer. Like, that's totally fine.
That is also true.
And then if like they do get rid of it somehow, you get to draw a card if they get it into the graveyard somehow.
Yeah, that is true.
That's fine.
All right.
But I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's just the trinket artifact.
1 mana artifact. You want to sacrifice it? Like the trinkety, like Fangren Marauder Tron deck is very popular now. This kind of like plays in a similar space, but I think because it doesn't also like help make mana for Tron stuff, it's not quite at the top of the list you might want there. What's your other colorless card? Is it the dog?
It is, of course, the dog.
It's the Doge.
It's the corgi. It's the Chrome Companion.
It's the corgi. It is very cute.
It is very cute. This is what happens when Phalia crosses the Rainbow Bridge. Or the Sky Bridge.
Yes.
So, 2 mana, 2 generic mana. Artifact creature, dog. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain a life. Mm-hmm. And then you can pay 2, tap it, put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library.
Yeah. So
this is actually, this can stop things like the dredge decks.
Yeah.
If you just want to play this, and I mean, obviously this attacks, a relic doesn't attack. Mm-hmm. But this can stop relic from doing, or it can stop the dredge spy decks from technically killing you, I guess, because if you just put the troll back in their deck, they just don't have a target for Dread Return.
Right, depending on, because they could potentially stack enough creatures again, but that's really hard for them to...
It's really hard for them to get that many creatures into play.
Yeah, so...
And then also not be dead.
Right.
But as that kind of text, that's kind of cool. And it's a dog. And it's cute.
Yeah.
And I like to look at my magic cards.
Yes. I like to actually play them again. I like to recycle. This is a pro recycling corgi.
It is.
Yeah, cool vibes. Cool vibes with Edge of Eternity. A lot of I'm not usually like I like Star Wars. I like sci-fi to an extent. I've never been a huge fan of like alien stuff per se, but I'm really into this. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is an interesting set. Cool design spacing. I'm very, very, obviously, as you can tell, I'm very interested in the warp mechanic.
Yeah, the warp
from
stuff looks sick.
From this set. This is basic. There's a mechanic that's already been printed that basically is kind of the same thing. It's Evoke. Evoke is essentially the same thing, but the Evoke is only immediate. It's like immediate.
Yes.
Where this is until end of turn.
Exactly. So
and
like
then
that's
you still get to do it later.
Good. Yeah.
So I'm super interested in that. Like Evoke, like I say, we've always
it's like Evoke and Adventure had a baby.
Yeah, it's like this is what Muldrifter wish it could be. I think. Yeah. I think Muldrifter wishes it could be this effect.
That's fair.
Because that's a poster card for Pauper. Has been forever.
Oh my god! If you could draw 4 cards over 8 mana with Muldrifter,
so then you have a 2/2 flyer left behind. It's still pretty good.
That's, whew.
It's pretty good. And then but I'm dreaming with Ephemerate over here. I'm sure the folks out there will crack.
I mean, that's something you could put together. You could potentially brew something up, bring it to one of our local monthlies or something.
I sure could.
That could be very fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's all my cards.
Yeah, that's all I had. Any other thoughts to share?
Oh yes. One thing about my deck that I played at this Winnabox.
Mm-hmm.
The best card in my deck, and I was super impressed because again I haven't played this deck in a tournament before, but I have played some of it probably about 2 years ago in paper.
Okay.
Is the best card in the deck for me that day was Jewel Thief, and I don't think it was close.
Ooh.
Jewel Thief was so good all day long. That card was very impressive.
That card has trample.
That card has trample and vigilance, and it makes you a red mana.
Yeah,
which is
that's
insane.
huge. That's huge.
It was very good. So I
awesome.
do want to say that because that was the most impressive card in my deck.
That's sick.
Not Writhing Chrysalis, not Nyxborn Hydra. That card.
Yeah,
that card was impressive.
That's sick.
Yeah, because it's just
a sick one.
Like it's a power 3. Like it's a power 3 drop. Your other power 3 drop is like kind of whatever.
Like I'll draw as a repurposer.
Yeah, your repurposer was kind of whatever. That card got cut a lot in my matches a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, this card just like doesn't do a ton.
Sure.
And this obviously matchup dependent, but it just doesn't do a ton. That was like I would rather just have this Jewel Thief was way better.
Sure.
Card was very good. I was very impressed. Yeah, that's what I have.
Nice. Cool. I don't know when the next time I'm playing some Pauper is. I'd like to go up and join y'all for the Murray, Kentucky. I'll have to look ahead at my work schedule. Maybe I'll have that Saturday off. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, awesome. So thank you all so much for hanging out, listening.
If you made it this far, go to all the things that Cameron tells you to do on a normal weekly basis, such as all the 5-star reviews on all the podcasting platforms. Those beautiful things. You can write us some words. You can email us at commongroundmtgpod@gmail.com for your questions and all that good jazz.
Yeah. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your Pauper group. We got a little podcast, and we have a show coming up, Common Ground Cup, on Saturday, August 2nd. I didn't actually mention it. I mean, I mentioned offhand that we're doing live coverage and commentary, but if you cannot make it out for the actual event, please do hop on stream and say hello. And we're trying to bring you some really high quality Pauper content and tournament coverage. I saw. I got to share it with you guys. I got some updates from Director Kyle from Game Night about some overlays that he's designed to match the poster vibe that I made.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's like kind of got that like Mario-esque
side scroller.
Yeah, like side scroller Mario-esque like classic video game stuff going on. Yeah, it looks really nice.
Kyle's
it looks really
great.
nice. Yeah, it looks really nice.
Steven, give Kyle a raise.
Yeah, give them all a raise. Yeah, no, I think that's all we have. Thank you so much for listening, fam, and we'll see you next week with I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. It's pre-Common Ground Cup, but I think we have some ideas.
I think there is something that Cameron's been trying to do for a while that we'll probably hit.
All right, beautiful. Cool. Awesome. Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much, fam.
Later, everyone.
What's up, everybody? Cameron here. My quick take on Edge of Eternities. I just want to express my disappointment. I saw Mechanozoa spoil that common, that robot jellyfish thingy that taps something with puts a stun counter on it. And my first thought was, okay, Mechanozoa, that means we're getting an Esperzoa downshift reprint. And I just wanted to express my disappointment in the lack of Esperzoa as a downshift reprint here. It would have been the perfect place to put it here as a common. It's an artifact. It fits with the theme. It does this weird bounce stuff that would fit with the theme of the set of things caring about leaving the battlefield. Wizards, do better next time.